Hello. Somebody say if they can hear me. Oh, what's this? Slow mode. Send a message every 30 seconds. Hang on. Why is that on? I don't know how to turn slow mode off. Oh, no, it's all right. It's not doing what I thought it was doing. I thought it was only letting people comment every 30 seconds, but it's not. Hello. Hello, Dave. Hello, Matthew Lewis. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Sid. Hello, Charlie Manson. Hello. Hello, everybody who writes hello. Picture good, sound okay. Just okay. Don't know how I can adjust. I've got a microphone. Look, that's what I had last time. Oh, hello. You'll be glad that you haven't got smell-o-vision because I absolutely honk at the moment. It was way hotter today than I thought it was going to be. Hello, Zoinks. Well, I wouldn't call it professional. It's what we got for doing that podcast, me and Alex, Overbore podcast. But we had a problem recording the first one in that his internet connection wasn't good enough. So it only downloaded what I did. It didn't download what he did. So, yeah. How is life? Yeah. Well, I've just spent, hang on, over 1.5 hours, and this will only make sense if you know about BXs. It's taken me 1.5 hours, over 1.5 hours, to remove rear spheres, rear cylinders, and a height corrector from BX, because none of it's been apart since 1987 or 88, and it didn't want to come apart. So I am absolutely, and it's really hot. It's horrible. I hate this summer, and it's coming already. So yeah, it's properly hot here today. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I've got a drink, and I've got my snack here, which is, I don't eat that, but it's got cherry jam in it, and I figured that's part of 5 a day, so I have 5 of these a day. Nice silver BX. That's one I was working on. That is a nice car, actually. That is a nice car. It's a 19 DTR, about 80,000 miles on it. It's been parked on a driveway most of its life, similar to Vet. And this fella brought it, and he's asked me to go through it. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it's nice. It's a decent car. How is the bad period with cars going? What was I moaning about it? You have to let me know if the sound goes funny, because I've got a fan on down here as well. Yeah, the bad period with cars. It kind of it's a good name for a channel. It goes up and down. So what's the good stuff? Do the good stuff first. The S-Max is done. It's on the road. It's MOT'd. It's driving fine. Now that it has 2 new drive shafts, 2 new springs, 2 new ball joints, 2 new handbrake cables, new gearbox oil that's been flushed with ramp oil. So the S-Max is good. Hilda is, you can see Hilda? No, you probably can't. Hilda's behind this body tub. Hilda's good. Hilda's, at the moment, Hilda's pretty good. The cooling system is working absolutely lovely. So I've got to take the water out that's in it and put in some proper antifreeze. I'm not going to put the waterless back in it because, I mean, I do think about putting the waterless back in it just so that people in the comments have an aneurysm about it. But I'm not going to put it back in because it's just easier with normal water in there, and it is working well. But yeah, Hilda's driving well. That stutter isn't. I thought it was 100% gone. It's not. It's about 90% gone. I don't know if the coil pack's dead or something, but yeah, the fact that, oh, actually no, to tell a lie, the battery hasn't been fully charged since I've put a new alternator on it, and that was the problem with the low charge. So I haven't fully charged the battery since I've done that. I've just been letting the alternator top it up, but I think it might need fully charging. I mean, but yeah, you can gun it, and it might stutter once. I don't know, but it's kind of restricted because I've got little restrictor plates on the top of the carbs at the moment to try and back the power off a little bit, just to give the gearbox an easier time. So yeah, it's only running about 80, 90 horsepower, something like that. Adventures in Rust. Chris is here. The man Chris is here. I was gonna message you today, because I am pulling my hair out with the hydraulics on that car. But I don't. I'll message you. I messaged Vanny and he didn't know. So, am I booked in for Rustival 2? Well, I haven't bought a ticket. I do plan to go. I don't know. I don't know in what capacity I'm going, but I'll go. I said to him today, I'll just buy a ticket and go. If depends how they want me there. Do I take Hilda? Do I risk it? Beard is looking hard. Beard's just, yeah, messiness. Hello from Ellesmere Port, Cheshire. I have a fan under the table. What's her name? Oh, you'll be happy to know the AC in my Saab has given me good. But the AC in my Saab was amazing. It was one of the only amazing things about it. The aircon was brilliant, and the demisting ability of it in the winter was just spot on. Really, really good. I keep getting the spinny circle of doom. Not sure if it's just me. I'm not sure either because I can't see. I haven't got it. Jeff says, any Audrey news? I'm going to do a video on Audrey. So and Alex knows, and he's on board with it. But basically, we've had a bit of a nightmare with that car because it's done a Clement and it's been like what you thought it was and what it actually is. Two completely different things. And then, a lot of people will go, oh, I could have told you that, cheap DS, but it's easy to sit there and laugh. But yeah, there's a lot of rust under the car. Some of it he should have spotted, and he will have probably admit that. But then whether it's a bit he should have spotted or not, when you cut that panel away, because of the way the DS floor is put together, you then end up with like 3 other sections, spars, and they've all gone as well, and you end up having to rebuild the thing. So it's had a new it's got a new floor under where the fuel tank goes. It's got new sills in places. It's just going on and on and on. Mechanically, it's okay. I think mechanically it would be all right. I've done the steering rack in it, and the steering's lovely now. But it's just the rust. And the video that I will probably do on it is about the 40-year MOT exemption, because obviously that car had a 40-year, it's over 40, so it's MOT exempt. And you're going to end up in this position like he is with this one, where he wanted to get that car MOT'd because he's a believer in getting cars MOT'd regardless, and a vocal believer. So if he were then to not get it MOT'd and just keep it exempt, that would be hypocritical of him. The problem you've got is that, like, that fuel tank floor, I had to replace that because he wanted it MOT'd because it would have failed an MOT in the condition it was in. However, was the fuel tank floor unsafe? No, not really. It's just technically on an MOT it would have failed. And in doing the fuel tank floor, I then found lots of stuff that is unsafe that wouldn't have been spotted otherwise. And so you kind of think, you've got these cars with these 40-year exemptions, and you see all. I mean, I see them quite a lot. Cars come in, classic cars. They've been polished to the gunnels. They've been going around car shows all summer. They don't go out in the rain, and they're sheds underneath. They're absolutely, all the ball joints, gators are split, and there's play and everything. And the bushes are all knackered, and the tires are ancient, but the paint is nice. And I just kind of think, like, I think there's the problem you're going to have now, not so much a safety thing, but if you want to buy a classic car, if it hasn't been MOT'd, you've got like you've taken such a risk. There's no kind of, short of having the thing in depth and inspected, which really is what you'd have to do unless you were, mechanically minded yourself and could do the work. I think it's going to kick off a little bit in the next few years. I think there's going to be a real sudden, like, people are going to start getting bitten. Like the prices of classics will either keep going up and people will keep buying lemons unknowingly, or the prices will come down because it's become too risky to buy them unless they've got MOT or they've got proven history or whatever. So when I'm working on old cars now, I take pictures of all the work just as a record. So yeah, it's so Audrey's kind of stuck in that loop. And I think the plan at the moment is now to get it back together and usable on local journeys under the MOT exemption rule while waiting, letting him build some love up with the car because he's never driven it. He had it a year. It's been here. Let him build up some love with the car and then go again next year on it. But I've said he can take it to Citroen Classics if he wants. I won't be offended. So... where are we at? Oh, the comments went by. Dave is here. The keeper of VEP is here. Paul Baker. Hello, Paul Baker. Rob Hoyle says he used to work for Budget Rent a Car, ran BXs, and he had a couple of pilots. The Pilot wasn't ultra basic. The Pilot was, it wasn't top of the range, but it wasn't ultra basic. It was a 16 RS with a GTI interior and GTI wheels, but they were, wheel trims. But I mean, it wasn't top level. It was still a 1.6 carb, but yeah, I might take Hilda. I'll see how it goes. And I've put on, since the video where I took it out on that test drive, I've used it to go home a few times. I used it to go to the shop today. Probably done about 30 miles in it now. But I need to take it on a long run. I've got a problem with the brakes because the brakes on the front, I need to talk to the guy who made them because the brakes, the pedal is horrible. And it's almost like it needs a bigger master cylinder again. I've already got a sport master cylinder in it. I think I'm going to have to go one bigger again. And you get wheel wobble above 50 because the holes in the discs are drilled out very slightly because they're originally off a micro. And the spigot in the middle of the hub, the bore, if you like, in the middle of the disc, is bigger than the one on the imp. So the disc can kind of float about a tiny bit, only a couple of mil. But if you get it a couple of mil out and hit 50, it ruins it. So I need to sort that out. But gear change ain't amazing. It's not. Yeah, I've been struggling trying to get the gear change nice. It's not as good as it was. I mean, it is a different box. It has, maybe it's got a wear in, bed in. It's nice going into third and fourth. It's second is a bit reluctant to go in sometimes. But yeah, I would quite like to take Hilda, but it is so loud. It's so noisy. AC in the C5 is awesome. It's just the rest of the car that's rubbish. The aircon in the C6 is good. Although, I think my C4, the aircon might have been better in that. It was very, very good in that. Where is the best place to start on an SM project? Well, what you want to do, Bluey Mania, is start a YouTube channel, tell everyone you've got one, build a little bay for it in your workshop, and then do nothing. That's what I've done. Rustival, we've done Rustival. C6. C6 is still parked up. There's a chance it is just the battery, but a new battery for that is about 160 quid. So yeah, part of me's like, I could buy a new battery and put it on there and try it, but if that doesn't cure it, then it's going to be something nightmarish, because there's about 500 different codes come up on it for all different things, and then I'll have a battery sat in it going off. So if I've got another car I can drive around in, there's no pressing urge to do that, other than the fact it'd be nice to have aircon. I did have the Activa, of course, but that didn't last on the road too long. I've got all my pipe here now, my fitting. There we go, look. Unions and 6.35mm rubber seals. And I've got some pipe work out there, so... But yeah, it's going to be for a while. It's going to be a while until the Activa's on the ramp, because it's going to... The big problem I'm having this year is ramp time. It's really bad this year. I don't know what it is. I think it's because the other ramp's tied up with a BX. It's been on there ages. I'm like rebuilding the whole... Well, not the whole back end, but I'm rebuilding a lot of it. And it's been on there a really long time. And then, of course, Tomato was on it before that. Same kind of job, really long time. And then when a car's on that, there's a queue of cars waiting to get on it. And then you've only got one other ramp, which is the 4-poster, which I have to kind of keep semi-mobile. But if I put anything on it, it ends up, well, like that. That went on there. That went on the ramp to have rear spheres, a height corrector rebuild, and reset the ride height at the back. I was going to do that this afternoon. And so far, I've had to remove the cylinders because the boots are knackered. And I've had to cut the pipes off it because they're all rusted in place. So now I've got to repipe all the rear cylinders. And it's just... Yeah, so that's on the ramp now. But there's another C6 coming in Monday. There's a petrol C6 coming in Monday. So, and that needs the ramp. So it's... Yeah. You know, when I've turned the corner, when I can take Hilda to festival with no trepidation. I can take Hilda to the shops with no trepidation. So I'm classing that as a kind of win. Where are we at? Any progress on the SM? Sadly not. I'd love to. I'm fired up to do it now. But I just haven't got the time. I've just got there's too many projects still on the go. So I think what I've got to do is get Hilda to a point. It's not going to be probably never be finished in my lifetime, but get Hilda to a point that it's usable, because inside it's still in bits. There's only one seat in it, and half the carpet's missing, and the engine cover inside and the back isn't bolted down. I found that out the other day at about 60 miles an hour, and it flew off when I opened the driver's window. I think the plan will be to get Hilda working, roadworthy, and kind of mobile, and make it a rolling, because you've got dailies, rolling projects, or like rolling restos, and projects. And I've got too many projects. I need to have more of them rolling, which is why the Activa went on the road, and why I'm trying to get Hilda on the road. And because if they're rolling, they can be used and attended to as time allows. But obviously this year's just gone melons up, and yeah, I've ended up like too many projects. Really, the only project I want to have is the SM. That's the only one. Everything else should be rolling. The SM is the only one that I appreciate will not be a quick one. It will be years and years. I've had it 3 years now. So, Dave says he's going to keep VEP MOT'd. Good, yeah, good move. I mean, to be fair, BX is the mechanics of a BX. Like, if I took in the imp up for an MOT, the imp's not MOT. Like, Hilda's not MOT'd. Well, it's MOT exempt at the moment, but I will get it MOT'd again. But that car's like quite different from cars today. But the BX isn't. Like, it's McPherson struts, ball joints, standard CV joints. You know, they rust in the same sort of places as a car like 30 years later. So, yeah, BXs is definitely a case for BXs to be MOT'd. There's not really any excuse not to, I don't think. Lord Bungle has looked at a 2003 Saxo last week. Looked shiny underneath it. Yeah, it would. Saxos rust like buggery. They really do. Not on the outside, underneath. Thank you, GeoDer. Geo, capital D, little e, capital R. Charlie Manson has another appointment at the pub. Disgraceful. I'm kind of jealous, but you did the whole 24 hours. Wow. And now he's a member. There you go. Welcome aboard. You'll be like really disappointed with everything you can get. What's my views on electric vehicles? Nothing against them. I don't think I'd want one for fun or enjoyment or like a toy or something like that. But just as a daily, I'd have an electric car to go to and from work from here to home. Not a problem. I'm not going to buy one because they're £1 million, but I can't really see. Don't really think we're set up for it enough for them yet. It was bad enough when I had a car with LP that ran on LPG. That was a pain to run. So, or pain to get fuel for. So, I don't think the infrastructure's there. But I've got nothing against the electric cars. I quite like that. Is it Aura Funky Cat or something? Silly car, bit different. But yeah. Do I have space for another ramp? Yeah, space, but it's, well, actually, no, I don't, because there's too many cars in there. You get rid of some cars, and you have more space for a ramp. But it's just, I haven't got the man time. I haven't got the hours. I haven't got the time. All the funds, really, to get a new ramp. It just takes up a lot of space, and there's still only me doing it. So it's, even if you have another ramp, you haven't necessarily got enough hours to work on it. But if I had 2 ramps, I would be able to do jobs simultaneously, so that would improve things quite a bit. But yeah, what ads will run shortly for some viewers? Why were they doing that? I've clicked skip. You want to see adverts, do you? I'm quite far behind on these chats again. Is there a dye of some sort I can run through the LHM system in my DS to pinpoint leaks? LHM? It's bright green? That's probably what I do. Foxan's Follies is here. Yeah, you're going to notice LHM. SM, what SM? Oh, speaking of SM, I've got another SM. I got sent another SM by a man called Neil. I think it was Neil. Look at that. It's in better condition than mine. And the door's open, which means, well, only one of mine opens, really. It was in a charity shop. It's a Majorette Citroen Maserati SM. I don't know why it's got Maserati on it, but that's what it says. But you won't be able to see it or focus because crap webcam. Oh, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Is there much space for shopping in Hilda? Well, at the moment there is, because there's no seats in it, so it just kind of just goes everywhere. Mighty Cat Mods is in. Is Tomato finished? No. No, I was doing something on it earlier on. Tomato's another victim of the ramp conundrum, but it's getting on there. Was supposed to go on last week. That didn't happen. C6. Got another actor out there. I can't even see a gap in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm going to try and get it on there. I think the tomato needs to go on the 4-poster next to have the, because I've put the back end back together after I welded it, and it needs to have all the bolts done up, ride height setting on the back because the back won't lift at the moment. Then it needs the exhaust putting back in. Fuel system had been taken apart. Now that's all put back in. It needs the pipe work putting back in for that. And then the back end kind of putting back together. And then it's got a bit of welding on the front that needs doing. And then it's little tidbits like that. There's a mirror switch. I think it has the wrong mirror switch in it. And it also has an electric mirror on the driver's side, which it shouldn't have. It should only have an electric mirror on the passenger side. So, yeah. You will see it. I'm sure you'll see him driving it around. Hey, Seaside Garage. Hello and welcome to Seaside Garage. Yeah, but you've got a really cool place to keep them with loads of room around it. I just trip over everything. So, any chance of a social or anti-social? I was going to. I still will. I just haven't had a chance to probably hold it here. Do like a members one. Because it will only be small then. But I need to get this place cleaned. If you walk in here at the moment, you'll slip up. LHM everywhere. The SM is a great retirement goal. That's a bit optimistic. Retirement. I was thinking more like deathbed. Might get it done by them. Oh, I can't remember your name. Callum? Gray the Freudian Circle. Yeah. Hello. What would be the best cleaner? What, for the LHM? There was a cleaner called Hydra Sharaj. Chris has probably replied somewhere. Oh God, I'm miles behind. I'm going to speed through a little bit more. C5 wiper mechanisms, yeah. Luckily, I think the C6 is different. Please say my SM will be that orange. No, it won't. It does look quite cool though, doesn't it? Been tangoed. Ian Fisher's in. Ian Fisher has the biggest collection of up and down mugs of any type, of any person. I think he's got nearly all of them. You say you guess which one you're drinking tea out of. I honestly don't know. It could be one of about 6. I got that one. I need to wash that. That's the first Hilda one. He's got the first straight out of Linwood mug that I did. I actually came up with that years ago playing Forza Horizon 4. because you can get a Hillman imp on Forza Horizon 4, and I did a. You could make your own liveries, like designs and stuff, and I did one bright orange, had straight out of Linwood on it. I just had the idea to do it, so that's actually really old. I did it years ago. The small business owner, yeah. Yes, I like this T-shirt. I'm annoyed because I didn't actually realise I'd left it on. No, I wouldn't want a Tesla. Yeah, no, I don't like Teslas. Ugly things. I like that Honda City, whatever it is. I watched a Top Gear video the other day, which I wouldn't normally do, but it had that Tom Ford fella does it, and I can take him. He's all right, and he drove the MG Cyberster in China. That looks quite smart. I don't think I'd have one, but yeah, that looks quite good. Maybe the SM should come to the seaside. Yeah, yeah. Well, if you want to fix it for me. How upset was I that Betty cheated on me the other week? There's a rival Aussie Ford specialist. Yeah, I will never get over it. I will, yeah, devastated. Absolutely devo. Totes totes devo. But yeah. Would I have sold the C6 and buy a C4? Well, I sold the C4 and bought a C6. So probably not. I probably wouldn't get a C4 again. I've done that. C4 is I like the C4. I had a C4 VCS. I did like it. It's just it didn't drive as well as it should have done. Like it didn't drive as well as the old Zaras and ZXs did, but there was plenty of things to like about it that I did like. Excellent seats, good stereo, looked quite smart, sounded quite nice. Just a bit different. I love the steering wheel. Weird Al Yankovic does have an album straight out of Linwood, yeah, which I didn't know until about 2 weeks ago. So no, it's nothing to do with that. It was straight out of Compton, but switched to straight out of Linwood because Linwood was the same number of letters as Compton, and it was switched to Linwood because of the factory in Scotland. And I didn't even know there was another Linwood. So if I wasn't into Citroen and TVR, what other manufacturer would be my favourite? And which Alfa Romeo would it be? I do like Alfas. I wouldn't really have a favourite. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've done TVRs for a living for too long now. I don't really get excited by them anymore, which is a shame. If you do it, it's a busman's holiday, isn't it? If you do it long enough as a paid job, you stop finding the enjoyment in it. So I hope I don't do that with Citroens, the older ones. But I haven't really got a favourite. Struggling to keep up with the chat again. Here's a bit of a dare. Make your SM into a Roland Garros. Might have been. No, I probably won't. Probably not going to do that. Yeah, no, not white leather. Not see how dirty I get. If the Model 3 was a hatchback, maybe. I couldn't tell you which one the Model 3 is. I mean, the only Tesla that they've ever made that I thought the very first Roadster, which was basically based on an Elise, I thought that looked okay. And then the Model S, is it? The first saloon they did. I thought that looked okay. A little bit generic, but it looked all right. It had some nice little touches. Everything after that has been pig ugly, like horrible looking. Especially that one with the doors that goes up. Just no, got nothing. They do nothing for me at all. But if I do a social, would I consider opening up the dyno to put some more names on the board? The dyno is a pain in the ass to do. If you've got a lot of people here, I mean, I'm going to do some more on it. I was going to put the Activa on it. The cars lined up to go on it at the moment are the Activa was going to, and then I was going to play with the turbo and see if I could get it go higher. And then Professor Tomato is due to go on it when it's back together. And at the moment, that should take the win. It should take top spot. Because it'd be boring just to go for a car that's got 250 horsepower and smash everything else, wouldn't it? You got to go up in steps. So I saw a red C6 in McDonald's yesterday. Had a bit of a fanboy moment when I saw it. Not many red ones about. Cheers, Charlie. Do I prefer to drive a carburetted car or injection? Injection, 100%. Don't like carburetors. Although the ones on the Imp are okay. The motorbike ones, they're not too bad because they're like a modern version of an SU, so they're kind of really simple. But I don't like carbs. Is there a car that even if it was offered to me for free, I'd reject and refuse to ever drive? Probably quite a few. Well, no, I wouldn't refuse to drive something because, like, on what grounds would you refuse to drive a car? There's no grounds to refuse to drive a car. But if someone said to me, I don't know, an SUV, some sort of SUV. Here's a free. I wouldn't say no to a free anything because I'd just sell it. So I can't. I'm too literal. I can't do hypothetical questions like that. I've got no interest. I can't stand SUVs. I hate the things. So I'd have no interest in it having a go in any SUV. In fact, someone said to me, "You can have it and drive it." I'll be like, "No, you're right." Just no interest in them at all. Absolutely nothing. I think they bring nothing to the world. But other than that, no, not really. What would be my dream car to own? And I do. An Lexus LFA. I don't own one of those. Would I buy an Alfa Romeo 156? I had an Alfa Romeo 156 ages ago. Why are you messaging me on WhatsApp and in here? I had a Citroen BX 17D in the early 90s. Slowest car I ever had. 59 horsepower, maybe. Loved it. Though one of the best cars I've owned. Yeah, they're good. Good cars. Yeah, they are slow. What's the slowest and fastest cars I've driven? Well, the slowest would be Vecchi. Is that a car? That's not a car. It's a van, but ugh. Yeah, Vecchi is ridiculously slow. Doesn't feel it. Well, no, it does feel it. That's a complete lie. It does feel it, but it's like the gears are so short that it kind of accelerates. Like if you bang your foot down, it'll accelerate. It's kind of it does try. It's not like it does nothing at all. But the gears are so short that your speed is just increasing so slowly. I mean, it does 0 to 60 in 57 seconds. That's that video I did on it. Not many people watch that video, but I did a video of it doing 0 to 60 thinking like, will it be able to do it in about 35 seconds? Which would be funny because it's so slow, and it ended up being the first run was over a minute, so it really is that slow. But slowest car, Fiesta. Well, I don't know if it's the slowest, but it feels it. A 1.3 litre Mark 6 Fiesta, which I have to drive occasionally, which belongs to my wife's nan. It is painfully slow. It's just like you put your foot on the throttle and nothing happens. It's just so sluggish. Yeah. Fastest would be an Ultima GTR. Any number, driven about three different ones. Rearrange your face, those things. Yeah. Be fun on a track. They're horrible on the road, but they'd be a lot of fun on a track. Only Citroen I've ever owned was a black AX GTI. Great fun. Yeah, they are. Yeah, AX. The GT is more fun. GTI is a better car, but the GT is more basic and like more fun because of it. Pretty sure I'd love a Plurial if I was offered one for free. I would like a Plurial. I would, because I've got this urge to crash Vecchi into something, and I could use a wall, but it would be much more funny to use a car. I've run through the scenario on BeamNG in my head quite a lot, and I could substitute an Abishu Covet for a Plurial and a Gavril D series for Vecchi, and we could make a video. In fact, if I had two Plurials, I'd do one of them with the roof bars on and the other one with the roof bars off, and see what structural differences there were between them. Yeah, but I suppose I'd need two Vecchis as well. But yeah. A Hummer, perhaps. Well, see, a Hummer's not an SUV. SUV to me is this modern culture of like just big off-roaders with thin, low-profile tires that like road car tires. And I saw one the other day on one of those videos where people could idiots drive through floods and get stuck. And there was a Skoda, and it was front-wheel drive. I mean, it's just the most stupid thing. That's so dumb. So yeah, whereas a Hummer is a purpose-built off-roader. Like there's a big price to pay on the road. Like with an SUV, they don't really go off-road very well, and they're slightly worse than a normal car on the road. But a Hummer is a lot worse than a normal car on a road, but excellent off-road. That's its job, to go off-road, like a Defender or something like that. So I wouldn't class them as an SUV. I always think they're just off-roaders. But SUVs can be like SUV, fake SUVs. I suppose like the Skoda. Crossovers are the worst ones. Yeah. So I wouldn't have a Hummer, but I can see the logic. That said, weren't they built for the military? If you're not in the military, you don't really need a Hummer. But BMW 523, what, a E39? Nice cars, E39s. Ford EcoSport, yeah. Oh, is that the one with a spare wheel built into the rear? Oh, Vauxhall Mocha. Ugh. Would I refuse to drive an Invacar? No, I wouldn't refuse to drive anything. If someone said to me like, "Can you drive that SUV from there to there?" I wouldn't refuse to drive it. I wouldn't refuse to drive anything. I suppose it depends on the context. Yeah, bring back estates. Yeah, but then how many? Like, people used to buy estate cars, and it's like, I need the space. And what do you need the space for? Oh, well, kids and that and shopping. It's like, how often do the kids go in the car? Like, we've got a people carrier, and now 5 people all going out together don't happen often. So it's like, yeah, I don't, yeah. I suppose different people have different needs, don't they? But Aussie AU Ford, I've got nothing against them. What are the plans for the Iveco? To smash it into a plurial if someone can donate a plurial. Cleland t-shirt, yes, the Cleland t-shirt is class. Nissan Duke, Nissan Puke, more like. Qashqai is okay. Is it though? Is it? SUVs have just combined all the downsides of several car types. Yeah, SUVs, right? I'm not going to get in. I'm going to stay calm. So they have ground clearance, and they're higher off the ground because off-roaders need to be higher off the ground and have better ground clearance to go off-road. But something like a Volkswagen, whatever, or Skoda, whatever, or has this extra ground clearance, but doesn't go off-road. So the center of gravity is higher. So you have to have all this like heavy duty suspension to counter the fact it's trying to fall over. And they're massive. So you have all this extra weight. And you think, what inside you've got the space of an estate car pretty much. And you think, why? You're literally carrying, like, people are buying electric cars to save the planet, whether that is or whether that isn't. I don't know. I haven't got the figures in front of me, so and I don't. To be honest, I don't think anyone who has a strong opinion on it one way or the other has the figures either. Whether they are saving the planet or not, who knows? All anyone's got really is an opinion. But what you can't deny is that most of the electric cars that are coming out are massive, great big heavy cars. And when everyone's got heavy cars, it takes more energy to stop them, and it takes more energy to get them going, and they eat the road quicker. Like, the road has to be resurfaced, and in this country, when the road surface is rubbish when they first go down, yeah, it's just backwards. Like that Honda Beat I drove way back when, and had very good fun. No, who needs more than a K car? Like, generally for everyday driving and things like that. If everyone drove a little car like that, if it was just for, just someone using their own car to commute or whatever, I think the roads would last longer, the petrol would last longer. It's nuts. People wouldn't hit each other. That's the other thing, like cars are hitting each other, like having to make cars like work so hard to make them safe because they weigh 2.5 tons. And slamming into each other, and it's just so backwards. You just see how cars used to be in the 80s, the technology. You could see how the development and the engineering, how they were managing to make cars lighter and lighter, but stronger and stronger, and like more and more powerful, but more and more frugal. And to an extent, that's still kind of the case, but I think it's gone too far now. I think it's like the power figures are kind of at the expense of longevity a little bit. All these stupid things like wet belt engines and things. But like now we've lost sight of. Yeah, we've just got all these like needlessly big, heavy, flash, like great big trucks that no one needs, and no one makes no one makes MPVs anymore because MPVs aren't cool. When MPVs were actually really clever. They weren't much heavier than a normal car, but they were bigger. They had a lot more room inside, more space that way, more leg room, flat floor. Yeah, MPVs were good, and they've all died. Now everyone's cramming into SUVs, which are smaller on the inside. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. Oh, I'm going to black out in a minute. Sorry, the chat's probably gone on. Someone's got an SUV. Get your cut. Grumpy. Yes. Yeah, that's not yours, though, is it? You just have to have that. So, Uh, put hub nuts smart on the rolling road when it gets finished. I don't know what would. I don't know if that would work on the dyno. I don't know how the clutch works on a smart. I watched his video with the smart roadster. If you haven't seen that, watch that. And I desperately wanted to have a smart roadster after I watched that. So, oh, oh, oh. Oh, I think I've. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Daewoo, Kalos, Chevrolet, Aveo are terrible cars to drive, if you ask me. Well, I don't know because I've never driven one, but I reckon they're better than an SUV. Here's one for you. Which PSA petrol engine would I say was better, the XU or the TU? Well, define better. You know this. I can't just answer questions. I get all like over analytical. My gut reaction would be the TU, because it's smaller. Well, they're different, aren't they? Like the XU's bigger. I suppose the only thing you can do is compare a 1600 TU and a 1600 XU, because they're the only two sizes that cross over. And the TU is a heavier engine because the 1600 is an iron block, but it's more compact. It's easier to work on. It's easier to maintain. They're both quite reliable, to be honest. So yeah, I would say the TU is the better engine, but the best version of a TU and the best version of an XU, the best XUs are better than the best TUs, if that makes sense. Like the best version of an XU would either be the one in the BX 16 valve or 405 MI16, or the later one in the 306 GTI 6, the RS lump, or Zara VTS. Those are the two really good ones, and they're better than the 16 valve in the Saxo. 16 valve in the Saxo, or the 106 or the C2, whatever, is fine, it's pretty good, but it's there's something that the BX lump, there's something that BX 16 valve has that the others don't have. It's just got this something. I can't put my finger on it. It's easier to put your finger on it at 7,000 revs, but you can see me getting a Suzuki chimney. I've got no need for it. Like if do you know, I would have a proper 4x4, an off-roader, and go off-roading. That looks a lot of fun. I would quite happily do that. But I've got plenty going on. So oh god, I said crossover. What is the point in an iGo X? Oh, they haven't, have they? I didn't even know they had. Yeah, the EcoSport's just a horrible thing. Estates are for people who have one car and many needs. This is the thing. I can never get my head around it because I haven't had one car. I've not owned one car since 2002. I've never had one car, and then for a good portion of that time, I've got different cars for different jobs. So, because like, to me, you can't have. I don't think you can have one car that does everything. I mean, I appreciate some people have to have one car. They can't have more than one car because they haven't got a driveway or whatever the situations are. But so yeah, I can see the appeal with that. But like for me, if I wanted to have fun, I would buy a classic or a sports car or a hot hatch or something like that, an old one. And then if I wanted to be practical, I'd use that as the daily driver. So I just wouldn't have a car that did both. But I can see the appeal of an estate, and I can see why people do it. I've owned estates. I've owned estate cars, so but I didn't really have a need for them. Just happened to have it. I'm a single man who makes extensive use of his estate car. You do seem to have, that said, I do seem to have a slight garden centre problem. Well, you said it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. But I mean, it is a Volvo is a normal, was it a V, whatever? I don't know Volvos that well. V70. It's just, that's just a normal car, isn't it? So, re-estates, I go LARPing. What's LARPing? I need to carry items upwards of 6 foot in length. So there you go. If you need everyone, some people are in a point. It's context, isn't it? Some people are in a point where they think, well, one of the things I use my car for is this, and to do this, it needs to be bigger than this, and this, and So yeah, I mean, what's that? A Mondeo ST2 was ST220 Mondeo is probably all the car you need, really, isn't it? Honda Beat mentioned. Oh, is it you with the Honda Beat? Yes, Toby, yes. The Honda Beat. Yeah. Where's my Honda Beat? I can't remember who sent me this. I have written everything down. My Honda Beat. Look, although it's got the windscreen's broken on it. And there's no... Oh, it's in there. Bit of windscreen in there. I don't know if that broke in transit, but doesn't look like it's fresh. How cool was that Honda Beat? Honestly. Yeah. Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. It did teach me a lesson. So I've got to do A, B, C. I've got to do A is the AutoZam AZ1, B is the Beat, and C is the Cappuccino. Cappuccino should be the easiest of those because they sold them in the UK. You had an advert. Someone had an advert. Why are people getting adverts? Sorry, I don't know why you're getting adverts. It came up with a thing at the bottom said an advert is going to play soon. So I went to stop it. Yeah, ABC. And the AutoZam AZ1 is going to be the hardest one to find of that lot. But yeah, the Beat was just... Yeah, it was just... It was brilliant. It was one of the best cars I've driven. Like one of the most fun... one of the genuinely enjoyable and usable on the road. Like you wring its neck and you sort of lean on it around corners and you're not going fast. If you do that in a normal sports car, I didn't really explain it very well, but like if you're in a TVR or something like that, and you go caning it around the countryside, you're up the arse of the car in front in no time at all, and it's just frustrating. And you're going out there to have fun, and then you just end up frustrated. Whereas in the Beat, you're not. You're doing like 8,000 revs, and the car in front's pulling away. It's ideal. So yeah, I really could see the appeal for a Beat. And if I won the lottery, not because they're necessarily expensive, but I just haven't got the space or time or money for more cars than I've got. But yeah, if I had like a limited space and funds, I'd definitely buy one, put it in the little collection. Awesome. Small EVs make a lot of sense, but they don't seem to want to make them. An interesting point. The reason is they're not profitable. Like the amount of tech that has to go into a car to make it an EV. Like the smaller the car, the less batteries you can fit in it, so the smaller the range. And you end up with an EV that's a small car like that Honda, the Honda E or whatever it is, and they're really expensive. Like they're so pricey. They're a lot harder to sell. So that's why they're pushing all these horrible, like the Fiesta's dead now, isn't it? And Ford make the Puma, is it? Which looks like a fat Fiesta, basically. and that's probably what they'll end up making. I imagine that will be effectively replacing the Fiesta. Yeah, I think small cars are dead. Apart from like the real budget class, like your Igos and your C1s and that kind of thing, or Smarts or anything like that, or K cars in Japan. Yeah, the small car market's dead and buried, I think. Because the new Corsa is not small. I think it's the same platform as the 208. Well, it's not that small. So, oh, crap. Co-worker has a massive Mercedes EQC electric SUV that he says can't make it to London from Portsmouth on a charge. Say no more. Would I put Shemi from Hubnut on the dyno? Well, you'd have to ask Miss Hubnut about that. Possibly. Oh, God. Oh, I hit a button and then it just goes nuts and I lose where I was. So if I will be missing. I'm going to miss certain comments. Sorry, I'm not ignoring people. It skips around all over the place. Had a VW up for a while and the GTI too. Yes, I quite like the up. Yeah, seen some recent concerns that the crash barriers aren't really built to allow to account for heavy electric cars. Yeah, definitely. That's the thing. Like, the infrastructure is not made for it. Parking spaces aren't big enough. Garages aren't big enough. Driveways aren't big enough. It's just stupid. It's a stupid situation that we're in. But car manufacturers make what people buy. How is the Saxo? The Saxo is not mine, but the Saxo's outside. Yeah, the Saxo's doing all right. It's cringe seeing people driving around in Range Rovers who don't go off road. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, people who do what they want to do. Like you can't tell anyone what to drive or how they should live their life, whatever. But you can have your opinion on it. So I just think SUVs are hateful things. It's the reversing of progress. Oh no, Hubnut is here. He probably was like 10 minutes ago. Best excuse for owning an estate are looks. In the case of the newest Peugeot 308, Peugeot are making some decent looking cars, aren't they? Or if you're taking a model railway to a show, you'd have a van for that, wouldn't you? Well, see, my daily, Tom Winch says my daily is a Mark 1 Kia Picanto, lots of gear changes needed to get acceleration. But is that not more fun? Like, you have to drive it hard. Oh, look, Miss Hubnut's here. People were asking about Shemi on the dyno. The nuts of Hub have arrived. I'm skipping a little bit here. I look happy. I'm not happy. Oh, Jeff, that's kind, man. Thank you. I put it into the little pot. C is not Copen. C's cappuccino, isn't it? I could be wrong. I thought it was. LARP is live action role play, kind of like D&D, Dumb and Dumber. But you act as your character. I would not be good at that. I'd be very bad at that. I'd be like, sorry. I wouldn't be able to do it. It seems a very alien thing. Maybe you act like an alien. I haven't had more than one Bakewell tart. That was it. In this sitting. Yeah, someone else had adverts. Sorry, I don't know why people were getting adverts. Trying to keep up here. I was considering replacing my 9.3 with an ST220 or 200 estate because running two cars is expensive, and the Mondeo could do everything both my cars can do. Yeah, they're good. I mean, it's a good all rounder. The ST200. I had an ST. Well, we had a ST200 as a family car, not an estate. But it was a decent car. I think. I don't know. I think I always compared it to the Xantia when we had it, and like now I've got a Xantia again. I've been using. Xantia is a better package than a Mondeo, I would say. Like it works better. Like it's more room, more comfort. Feels a bit better made actually, which sounds weird saying it, but the Mondeo did handle well, and it had a nice noise, and it just kind of had something about it. I don't know what it was. And we didn't have an ST220, but I've got an ST TDCI, which was a mistake because the engine, the fuel system in those engines is made of chocolate. And but yeah, that was just a nice all round car, apart from everything that was awful about it. So if you got the 220, you wouldn't have the awful bit. So the Renault 5 EV looks cool. I like the look of that. I know it's retro. I know that's boring. I know like no one's thinking of anything new, but maybe no one's got anything left to think of. Have you seen that Citroen Ollie thing? It's horrible. It just looks like some sort of growth. But it's different and it's new and it's not copying anything. It's like forward thinking. But it's like I think we've thought of all the good things now. I think we're just back to I think we just have to like go silly, revisit ideas that didn't get done before, or copy old cars and do a modern version of them. And that Renault 5 looks awesome. Looks really sweet. Oh, it's done it again. What is ICE? See, to me, ICE would be in-car entertainment, but I think it means internal combustion engine. Renault 5 has a baguette holder. That's just a gimmick, though, isn't it? It's like, then who is actually going to use that for that? Even in France, they wouldn't do that anymore. If Shemi beat Bella on the dyno, surely you burn Bella. If Shemi beats Bella on the dyno, then Shemi has like nitrous or something hidden in the boot. Yeah, it wouldn't do that, but it could be. What was that GS called? Can't remember what it was called. It could beat that. It shouldn't do, but it could. Could the dyno take the power? Well, you see, yeah, it'll be all right. I'll put extra bolts in it if Shemi's on there. Stop it getting ripped out the ground. It'll be all right. Here we go. I'm scrolling. I'm going. A good orc? What the hell's an orc? Yeah, C in the ABC trio is for cappuccino. So I know I'm learning, you see. Not if you're a Daihatsu person. Yeah, but I'm not a Daihatsu person. Like, I know neither is most people. Sorry, I'm late to the stream. Any BTCC questions yet? No, nobody has mentioned BTCC, despite the fact the posters on the wall and stuff as well. But nope, that's the mic. Where's my drink? There. Oh, it's gone. Skipped again. Oh, we go. I'm just imagining all the British car tubers in a fantasy setting now, which would definitely be the orc who's on the adventurer's side but not happy with the bullshit. I want to know what's going on. You might as well be talking about hairdressing or like cooking or clothes. I've no idea what the hell is an orc? What's an orc? Where's my phone? What's an orc? Am I going to be angry? Orc. You bastards. You have really? An orc in J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle Earth fantasy fiction is a race of humanoid monsters, which he also calls goblin, especially in how do you pronounce that name? Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Orcs appear as a brutish, aggressive, ugly, and malevolent race of monsters, contrasting with the benevolent elves. I've never been so insulted. But it's nice to have a label, isn't it? So what's the pronouns for an orc? I need to know so I can put them in my thing so that everyone knows. When I saw the Ollie, I thought it looks like a child's drawing of a Hummer. The Citroen Ami isn't a car. It's legally, yeah. I quite like the Ami. I don't mind it. Hello, Hooked on Classics. Just refitted an unrated cylinder head to my 205 Rally today. What's an unrated cylinder head? Orc or orc? See a cat. I'm not going to look at orc with a K because it could be worse. For the baguette holder in the 5, you could use it for other long cylindrical things. Like a torch. Or a roll of cling film. Could be Ellie from Hubnut. What's this? Shemmy again? I think, to be fair, I think if Carly herself got on the dyno, no, she wouldn't be able to do it. She'd need a wheel of some sort. So if we get a push bike and Carly rides the push bike on the dyno, I reckon she'll probably have more power than Ellie. Thoughts on the C5 Aircross? Take it to a cliff, push it off. Orc, old road car. A 405 MI16. See, you've written that wrong. It's MI16 by 4. There's only 1 4 for sale in Romsey. the yeah, I wouldn't have the 4x4 version because that engine doesn't have any torque, and the last thing it needs is more drag. And you don't need four-wheel drive. Like, it was this thing in the 90s, everyone started putting four-wheel drive in normal cars, didn't they? Like, well, BX has had it, and Cavalier and Mondeo and Sierra and everything. I suppose the Sierra had it because it was rear-wheel drive normally, so it might have come unstuck a little bit more in the rain or the wind or whatever. But yeah, like, you could get a 4x4 BX. Who the hell needs a 4x4 BX? Unless you're living in like Finland or something like that. So I think the front wheel drive MI16 is just like so good. I can't imagine. That said, it does have a BX back axle. It has hydropneumatic back suspension. So what's the drink? It's Pepsi. Just a bit of Pepsi. Well, Gray, the Floydian Circle, has a Daihatsu friend that has a Copen, several moves, 3 applauses, and a Q-War. I mean, I don't know. If I was Ian, I'd be worried. I'd be like, she's gone. You've lost her, mate. She's gone. She finds out who that is. You keep squinting at the chat. We don't mind if you put your glasses on. I wouldn't. Well, I haven't even got them. The chat. I have the font quite small on the computer, so that everything else is bigger. But yeah, I always squint. An orc from World of Warcraft. Orc World of Warcraft. What is this? What the hell? That's like some weird. Oh, that. Like this. Gotta be honest, there's not a huge resemblance there, but I'll take it. At least that one's not green. Oh, that one is at the top. Shall I get a nose ring? Skinny Lou kissed my sister. What? I know who Skinny Lou is, so that's random. I mean, he's got a wife, so I'm guessing that might be his wife. I don't know. But did I get the picture I sent you from Linwood? No. When did you send it, and to what? I'm like so far behind with messages and picture, like communications. I'm terrible with it. Well, yeah, I'll have a look and see how you sent it, but no, I've not seen it. Would an AMI work for me as a commuter? Yep, but they're like $7,000. So why would I spend $7,000 on an electric box? But as a tool, yes, it would work very well. The orcs are a biologically engineered here we go. This is going off on one now, isn't it? A biologically engineered species created more than 60 million. What? Created more than 60 million Terran years ago. What does that mean? Terran years ago as a warrior race, originally called the Krork. Why has everything got a weird name? Krork. I felt like my mouth had like a stroke then. Krork. What car are my kids going to learn in? Surely the Saxo. I don't know. Probably not. I wouldn't have thought so. The easiest car to drive probably is the Saxo. BXs are easy to drive. They're very easy to drive. The Imp's quite easy to drive, apart from the gear change at the moment. Does anyone have a bike I could borrow? I've got a bike. I might see how much power I've got on my legs. The Primera almost went 4x4. There was a Primera touring car at Super Touring last year, and I don't know if it's going to be there this year. That was, oh, now was it 4x4, or had it been converted and then converted back to two-wheel drive? It was at the back anyway. It was slow, like relatively speaking. The P10 Primera. Rolling Road Ian's electric bike. I would quite like was it an all-wheel drive Daihatsu with something like an 800cc 100 horsepower engine? Are you not describing the Daihatsu Cuore Avanzanto TRXX4 RDOHC 650? Yeah, it's got a name that's longer than the car. I like those. They're cool. I have a lettuce in the fridge that's a gem. Is that the one that beat Liz Truss? Who could resist the man with a damp shed full of broken cars? I know. I mean, I can see why you picked him. Did you? How many women did you have to like bat your way past to get to him? Was it a lot? Well, you know, I imagine he had a bit of a queue. What with the Invacar and that, it's like, oh, can you take me on a date in your Invacar? He's like, no, I can't because I've only got one seat. Also, Shenanigans is in. Hello, he's just on the A1M. How can you be watching? Ah, he's listening to it on the A1M. An exciting development, the A1M. I actually quite like. Have you gone past the pawn shop yet, or the Volvo place? That's the only two things I can remember on the A1M. Why is the thumbnail a Citroen SM? Why not? Why not? Channel Instagram Wednesday. So this is a picture. Okay, let's have a look on Instagram. So this is a picture of Linwood. I really should try and get up. I just really wanted to take the imp back there, but I just don't know if. I mean, it's now on the road. It's working, but that is a tall order. That is a very, very tall order. And a lot of people are saying, like people from up there are going, it's really not worth coming up here for. But I don't know. I quite like to go to St Mirren's ground as well and get a shirt, football shirt. So I'd like two birds, one stone. Right, hang on. Where's this message? How does this work? Oh man, it's like watching an old man, isn't it? Like it's a wonder that I post anything. How would you find messages on Instagram? I don't know how to find messages. I don't know how to do it. I'm just on my page. Like I can't. You go left or right or something, don't you? Oh. Ah, hang on. No, I'll go in the feed. Oh, I've got 3 messages and a no, 4 messages and a request. What's the request? Wow, that's very blue. You'll show your what? Oh, look at this. Oh, for God's sake, really? Why won't it? I wanted to make the picture bigger for you to see it, but he sent me a picture of the big Hilda mug. God, that's an awful quality, isn't it? Look, he sent me a picture of the big Hilda mug, available on the store, in front of that building that's about to get bulldozed. That's lovely. So Hilda has been there in spirit. I shall treasure that. I've been tagged in all sorts. Right, I have to come back to that. There's all sorts of messages in there. Yeah, thank you for that. Am I going to Fotu? No, probably not. Probably not. I think with Rustival, well, they're doing two. I mean, if they've done one Rustival, they've. I don't want to. That's my channel. I can say what I want. No, I think with Rustival, they basically made what Festival of the Unexceptional should be. Like, Festival of the Unexceptional to me feels like an outdoor version of the NEC show, which is just, and that's just massive. To me, that's just too big. You need more than a day to do it, and the costs are silly. And now Festival of the Unexceptional is like 40 quid, and it's miles away from here. And it's a lovely part of the world. It's a lovely location and some really cool cars there. But I don't know. I think Rustival kicked its ass, if I'm honest. And that would be if there was one, but there's two. There's another one in September, so it's like, no, I probably wouldn't. The only events I want to go to this year, Super Touring Power is the one I'm most excited about, which I'm hopefully going to do the whole weekend. And Alton Park. I want to go to Alton Park. I've never been there. And there's a French car show, or like a French car event on. And Brooklands. There's one at Brooklands. Brooklands is one of my favourite places. So I think there's one there. Really, those are the only sort of things. Problem is, when you go to car shows, like when you do what I do, you go to car shows and you just kind of like a bit, at the end of it, like, yeah, there's a load of cars. Yeah, right, great. Because I see cars every day. I've got so many going on in my own life. I don't need to look at other people's. But when it's Rustival and stuff like that, it's like you're kind of like, it's a bit different because you're kind of talking to people that you talk to online and you've heard about these cars. Now you're seeing these cars, and that's a little bit different, and that's a bit more interesting. But just seeing car shows, just like with cars just lined up row after row after row. If I wanted to see that, I'd go to a museum and see like cars that, real like cars from history. I don't know. Can't remember what the question was now. Oh yeah, Festival then Exceptional. No, that's long-winded. No, I'm probably not going to go. 50 quid, isn't it? No, 40 quid. 40 quid, and then the fuel to get there and back. That's 100 quid day out, just on the fuel and the entrance. So, oh God. You did confuse me with World of Warcraft. I didn't know what World of Warcraft was. I keep thinking World of Warcraft is like, I keep getting that mixed with War Thunder, which is like a plane fighting game on the computer, on the Xbox. Will I be doing another 24-hour stream this year? I don't know, to be honest with you. And I'm not trying to make it like people going, oh, like, well, no, not for attention or anything like that. But I was almost going to cancel the one tonight because I'm just like smashed, just absolutely smashed. And the thought of doing a stream kind of like beforehand filled me with dread a little bit. And the come down of doing this one tonight will be pretty big. I'm fine now, and I'll be fine. I could sit on here and talk till midnight, and I'd be absolutely fine. But when you turn the camera off, it's like a bouncy castle. It's like at the moment it's inflated and it's running. When you turn the camera off, it's and you're just like your energy's just gone. after that. I get like it every time. I get like it if I go to a car show. I get like it if I see people that I don't normally see, you know, like not regular people that I see. And then, so the thought of doing another 24-hour one, if I'm honest, at the moment, is not one that appeals. um, because there's just so, like, life is just so busy. There's so much going on. It's like, I don't need one more thing to have to do. That said, I do believe in the cause and I want to do something for the cause. And I'd feel bad if I didn't do something for the cause. So I don't know. Is the again another long answer to a question that really could have been quite a short answer, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a way off. Like, childhood cancer month is September, so things could be different in September. But yeah, just like so tired at the moment, and so much going on. There's just so many. It's like plate spinning. I've got so many plates on sticks now. It's just like, I mean, I've always had quite a few, but now it's just like, no, even I'm thinking there's too many. So yeah, don't know. We'll see. Why weird names? Because Games Workshop have to use unique names so they can be trademarked. Boring but true. That is boring. That is boring. 22 hours to go. Have I been out in Hilda again? Yes. Yes. I took Hilda today to the co-op. And I got this drink and some biscuits, but I don't know where they've gone. Yeah, Hilda is slowly, basically what you have to do. Like when Hilda first went on the road, well, it broke after 170 miles. The clutch failed. Oh, sorry, my Aurora forecast has just gone off. If the sky is clear, you might be able to see Aurora in the next hour. There is a 16% chance of seeing the Aurora, Northern Lights, at around 9:30 in the current location. So at 9:30, I'm ending the stream. Yeah. What was I saying? Hilda. Yeah. So when Hilda first got put together, after 170 miles, let's turn this fan off because it's really loud under it. There we go. After 170 miles, the clutch shut itself basically, and eventually, when it was at a point where it was like mechanically the design worked, it takes you kind of like, you start doing baby steps. You start like going on little journeys, and then slowly you go around in your circle. You kind of, the span, if you like, the radius that you're going is getting gradually bigger and bigger, and your trust is going up and up and up. And my trust, when I drove Hilda that time on the video the other day, which was the first time in like 3 years, channel's been going 3 years. That was the first time you've been out in Hilda, which is mad. I've had the car since 2016. So, but that journey was a bit like, oh, this is a bit like, does not feel good. But in fairness, a lot of the car isn't finished. A lot of it's like unbolted and stuff. So, yeah, I think when it was good. Honestly, when Hilda was good, back before I blew the gearbox, or before I took it off the road in 2019, was it? To do with the sort of redesign, some fairly big bits of it. Before that, mechanically, it was tickety boo. I'd drive it anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't drive it anywhere because it would kill you in the fumes and deafen you. But I oh, the KP index is becoming high. This is good for Aurora Borealis. Yeah. So, what the hell was I saying about Hilda? Yeah, I took it. The furthest we took it was took it with a mate to Farnham. It's not very far, but that's the furthest Hilda went, and behaved faultlessly. So, to a car show. So yeah, I think really, yeah, I think Rustival's got to be the target, hasn't it? I think Hilda needs to go to Rustival. Avanzaro. Hubnut, what is going on with your keyboard? And Avanzaro is only 660cc. Maybe Astoria X is only 660cc. Apparently, I can't type. Yeah, it's good you're not a writer, isn't it? Didn't RCR do one of those Daihatsus with the long name and almost money shifted it? I don't know. Yeah, he gone. We gone off him since he stitched me. I've gone off him completely. Pissed me right off that one. Yeah, he was really rude in the messages as well. He was like so like short and curt and like you know non-personable at all. Whereas you compare it to someone um like Misha when Misha came on and that live stream last year. I couldn't watch it back. I'd cringe inside out. But um, I was so unprepared. But he like is arguably a bigger name, if you like, than RCR, and he had the time. He was like he replied and he's polite and gave his time up and everything like that. So yeah, I just that RCR guy just shame because I used to love his channel, but he's wound me up. I think I'm a long way behind on this. I'm at the point in my chat where Auto Shenanigans has just gone past the Volvo place. um, Morning from Sydney. Wow, we're off to work on that Bathurst BX today. Also, can I buy the AX GT air filter housing you had for? I do have I've got loads of AX GT bits. Got tons of them upstairs. I need to go through them all. Yeah, that Bathurst BX. I saw someone on Facebook said they're posting that they had one. Maybe it was one of the other ones, but they were going to break it to put the engine in a 405 or something. And it was like really, really sad. I've seen the video of the BX at Bathurst. Is it Bathurst? No, I don't think. No, I don't think it was Bathurst. There's one where it got brake fade and it hit a tire wall, went over the top and launched and came back down, and the strut went through the bonnet. Do I know what a go-go mobile is? No. I need to be careful. My sass levels are rising to the level of Captain Holt. Captain Holt is one of my favourite characters. He is one of my heroes. I'd love to be like Captain Holt. I wouldn't. I mean, not gay because then it'd be difficult with my wife. But where do I get the "I'm going for first" T-shirt from? This was from 1990s BTCC.com. There's a podcast called Stories from Super Touring, and it's the people who do that. It's, to be honest, it's not the nicest thing to wear because this is a massive, like heavily printed, glossy, like but it's a cool picture. So Rustival 2 tickets have been released. Rustival was cool. How much of Rustival did I get to see? Oh God. Oh no, I've lost it again. There we go. How much did I get to see? I didn't get to see any of it. Me and my wife went around the museum briefly, and I didn't see any other. I saw a couple of people I knew. I went on the stage, come off the stage, went to get something to eat, come back. I was pretty much next to the car the whole time. I didn't look at any cars, didn't go in any of the car parks or anything like that. And now, yeah, I should have. Next time, I'm going to be like, I don't know. I don't know what capacity I'm going in next time. I've asked, but I've not been told if I can just go and park if I'm in the normal parking or if there's an area for. I wasn't in the YouTuber parking last time. I think I got there too late. Even though I got there at the time, I thought I had to get there, but I think it was too late, and we weren't in the little row of YouTuber people. But yeah, whatever. I'll go and yeah. be where I need to be, but I will be walking around this time and actually having a look at some cars. At least pretend to be interested, you know. So apparently I should go to Friendship Corner, but I don't know if I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I might cringe out in Friendship Corner a little bit. But oh, we're all friends. Like I don't. I Friendship Corner is it's actually a very good idea. But I don't think I can take stuff like that seriously. I'm just too much of a party pooper. So yeah. But no, I do look forward to go. And yeah, definitely the best 11 quid I've spent in a while. It's 11 quid to get in. It's insane. Rustival is what the car world needed. It's not the show we deserved, it's the show we needed. Doesn't a garden centre car park offer the photo experience most days? So the thing with that, right? If I was talking to my mate Alex at the last one, I mean, you're looking around, and I am now in my head, I'm dead set that the unexceptional cars, and to be honest, I think if you see a Daihatsu Applause and there are only two in the country and there happen to be three there because one came over from Europe, that's not unexceptional. That's pretty bloody exceptional. But yeah, these cars, I think it's just that concourse thing at the front. It's kind of like that. It feels like that's the only bit they're bothered about, and the rest of it's just like, oh, it's just car show. It's just like parking for like, oh yeah, yeah. I don't know. And you're right. Like, there's no one except like, well, there are. There's some very interesting cars in that bit, but then there's also like I've seen like there's a Jaguar XK8, and there was a DS Sierra Cosworth in there, or Escort Cosworth. It's like the Focus RS. I'm like, what? And me, I was talking to my mate Alex, and we were like, in fact, no, I think it was one of the guys we were talking to. Was like, they probably find there's more unexceptional cars in the car park that people just because SUVs and stuff like that. They're just unexceptional cars now, aren't they? They're just an car, a Kia, whatever, Sportage or whatever. That's just an car. So surely that's more unexceptional than a Proton. Because a Proton's like, wow, it's a Proton. You don't see any of them. So yeah, it's kind of yeah. So yes, you're right. I think a garden centre car park does. I don't go to garden centres, so I don't know. Ask what's his name, um, Dave. Retro Matt or Matt's in Matt Pink. He's the brains behind Rustival, or not the brains. He's the puppet master. He's the one who's got the strings, and he's got like Carly on a string. She's got a longer string than everyone else's. And then Hubnut on a string, where only his strings are all tangled up and knotted, and like you can't do stuff that you want it to do, and it just keeps going wrong. And then Matt Furious driving. I don't know what his strings would do, to be honest with you. I don't know him that well. I guess they work. He's always got a hat on, so the strings have got hats. And then Steph, the strings are like some fruity, stripy, 60s bright colour strings. And they're like really smiley and stuff. And there's Matt, and he's doing this with all the strings. And that's Rustival, basically. You don't need to go anymore. I've just explained it to you. I've just described it. So 24 hours of Linwood. A fundraising idea. Sponsored drive to Linwood. Oh, I can't wait till September because I reckon they'll have bulldozed it by then. Although John said he looked at the or shenanigans, because of course this is his domain. He looked and said that there was no plans or no thing put forward. No, what do they do it? No application submitted to bulldoze it yet. But everyone who has a unit in that building got given 2 months' notice at the beginning of February. And I'm not an expert at maths, but that means that 2 months has now passed because it's May. So everyone's out. I think it's really stupid, bulldoze it. It's a Lidl going in there or an Audi or something. It's not even houses, it's just another supermarket. Oh God, I think I'm a long way behind on the chat again. Both you and Mr. Hubnut should do a 24-hour live stream together. He's obviously a lightweight. He's not his 24-hour live streaming game is weak, isn't it? He can live stream. He probably does more live streams than I do, but has he done one for 24 hours? Ooh, I don't know. Has he got it in him? Don't know. Have I had time to do anything with the SM? No, I haven't even sat in it. How bad's that? I normally sit in it, but I haven't even done that. Yeah, Hilda will. I will try and get Hilda at Rustival. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, the Northern Lights. I've never seen them. I've never seen them full stop. Certainly not down here. That's why I've got the app, because apparently it does happen sometimes. You just got to be looking in the right place at the right time. Unsubscribed from RCR after he ghosted me on the first 24 hours. I see. I'm enjoying the fact that everyone is on my team. When I say everyone is on my team, he's obviously got many more people on his team, but the people on my team are unsubbing from his team. The hell was that? Oh, it's a motorbike. I thought Putin had hit the button. Do you know, if Putin hits the button, I am absolutely toast here. Like, I will be, it'll be airburst and ground burst, like almost simultaneously. When I lived near the Arctic Circle, Northern Lights were a common sight. I didn't pay any attention to them. I wish I did. Just drop that in there. When I lived near the Arctic Circle. Oh, it's gone again. Here we go. Right. Do I think it's worth installing extra sound deadening on a BX? Yeah, probably. Is it possible to remove an A-pillar trim without breaking it or the clips? No. One of my favourite Hulk quotes: "Being gay is not a choice; it's a game, and I'm winning." My favourite Hulk thing that he's said. Well, there's loads actually, but the one that sticks in my head all the time is when Rosa, Brooklyn Nine-Nine stuff. This when Rosa says to him that she's going to break up with his nephew, and she's like really closed, and he's really closed, and then she's like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. Like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm gonna break up with him. I've said too much, sort of thing." And he just turns around and goes, "I regret the words we've already spoken." Like, he's in full agreement with her. It's the way he does it. The fella died, didn't he? The guy who plays him died. Yeah, he's a legend. Brilliant actor. You'd say Ron Swanson is more quotable. Yeah, probably is. Well, it's easier for me to quote Ron Swanson because I feel like I'm him. Hubnut's keyboard is all going Hubnut. Did I vote at the polling station? What? For what? Oh, there was votes the other day. I didn't even know it was on. So yeah, Rustival was friendly, no snobbery. Yeah, Rustival was spot on, absolutely spot on. There's a lot of people there. It was big. Yeah, no, it was a bit. No, when I say big, it wasn't big like being in a football stadium or like the NEC car show or something where you just like it was big. There's lots to see, but loads of space. So you're not crammed in. You're not like I mean, because I couldn't deal with that to be honest. Yeah, it was just well, no, it wasn't loads of room. I had loads of people around me, but yeah, everything was quite well laid out and stuff. Just in the car parks outside the museum, it's quite big. Are there any cars that I wish I could have, but no, I'll never get because of What? Because are there any cars that you wish you could have, but no, you'll never get because of even money, mechanical knowledge, time to fix, knowing that you won't ever be able to keep it? I can see the words. I'm just trying to arrange them. Hang on, because of even. Is that there are any cars that I wish I could have, but I'll never get because I wouldn't be able to keep it? I think because I wouldn't be able to afford to keep it or fix it. I mean, really, an SM goes under that, doesn't it? So there was a Toyota Century at one of there was. That is an exceptional car. Although one of my favourite cars that's at the festival done exceptional. Been there both the time. No, how many times have I been? 3. I think it's been there all 3 times. Well, definitely 2 of them. It was a Mitsubishi. Oh, Ian will know because he knows all the bloody names of cars, doesn't he? Sapporo or something. It's like a 4-door 80s saloon with pillarless doors, and it had the suspension was not active, but it had something like active dampers or something like that, or adjustable dampers, and it had loads of tech. A really, really cool looking car. One of my favourite cars that was in there. Adventures in Rust was right by Auto Shenanigans. He followed me in. I was stupidly fanboy over that. He was more than fanboy about that. I think he had to go and calm down. Ian likes sleep. It's good to know. I suspect that's probably a response to something that was said 10 minutes ago. But the 24-hour stream, yes. Sounds like a cool. I love that comic timing. Sounds like a challenge, Ian. Sounds like an excuse. Sounds like a challenge. Sounds like an excuse. Yeah, 850 exhibit cars. Wow. By the time I read this, it will probably be about 9:30 when the app said I should look outside. Which is not saying I need to look outside at 9:30. It's saying from 9:30 onwards, but it's not actually fully dark yet. I can see the light through the sunlights. But yes, I'll go and have a look soon. Need to book a hotel for Rustival and didn't get round it all. I stayed in a hotel. It was quite nice actually, and I stayed in that, and it's where was it? No, it was about 20. No, was it 20 miles away? It wasn't close. It was in Brackley. It was all right. That's what I'll do again, I expect. Miss Hubnut has gifted 5 Up and Down memberships. That's very generous of you, Carly. Now, there's going to be 5 more people who are going to be disappointed by the fact that there's not actually a hell of a lot more. There will be. Because I'm doing a little bit of extra stuff behind the scenes on another car, so there will be a little bit on that, and then that car will have one video on the channel. It's going to appear on the channel once on the 13th of June. Here we go. Look, Cassie, people. Oh, God. Oh, it's gone nuts again. Don't know what I touched. Miss Hubnut has managed to gift herself a membership. She'll be sat there going, I only wanted to buy one for myself. Why have I bought one for 5 people? Oh, no, you don't have to feel like a freeloader. I don't know what your name is on the thing there. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but I believe your name is Dale with the Intercity 125. And you don't have to feel like a freeloader. You sent me, if I remember rightly, some DS swimming shorts. So you're very much not a freeloader. I didn't have the balls to wear them. No, that's the wrong turn of phrase. I didn't have the guts to wear them when I went to France, but I took them with me. Um, I do like photo, but it is just about the cars. The NEC is only any good if you're exhibiting. Yeah, I kind of get that. It's kind of, yeah, I had a really good time when I exhibited there. I took my BX 2013. That was, well, no, I didn't have a really good time. I had a bloody nightmare that weekend. If I had a YouTube channel at the time, I could have made videos on it. But yeah, the actual experience was fantastic. And I've been to it a fair few times, but it's just too big. It's just too much to try and squeeze in, and then you walk around it all, and then you kind of end up feeling a bit inferior at times because like everyone's got these cars that are like absolutely insanely mint, and you know in your head that you're not really bothered. You're like, well, I don't care. Like I like my car as it is, but you're sort of like you're surrounded by everything, and you think, should I be making more of an effort? Should I be like this? You know? Oh, who's on the stage? Do I need to go and watch that? It's just like so many different things going on. It's too much for me. Too much for me. So yeah, NEC is only any good if you're exhibiting. Rustival was everything. Rustival had the cars, the people, the personalities, people you see on YouTube and things like that. It had a museum there, which happened to just be a very good museum as well. Just by the side there was a museum. Yeah, I even had the weather. The weather was decent for the time of year. So, am I going to Wembley if Saints gets the playoff final? We won't get to the playoff final. I don't need to worry about that. No, I don't know actually. I tried to get League Cup final tickets back in 2017 and got nowhere near it. So because although Wembley is 80,000 people, for the playoff final, it won't be the whole stadium. I think the top tier is closed, if I remember rightly. So you lose about 20,000 doing that, and then loads of them get given away for corporate and school trips and neutrals and stuff. So the allocation will be probably similar to what it is on a home game, and then it will be down to like priority, like who's got season tickets, who's gone to 5 away games. Which is, to be fair, those are the hardcore fans. I wouldn't call myself hardcore because I don't go following it around the country. So yeah, you should give priority to those people. But I'd love to go. Kids are itching to go, but I'm not. I'm not. Well, we were going to go to touring cars on Sunday at Brands Hatch, and not going because of the football. So, um, yeah, I don't think we'll get to Wembley, to be honest with you. But if so, I will try. And if I'm in there, I will stream a little bit of it for the channel, and everyone can go, "I don't like football. I don't want to watch that." So yeah, Ian Fisher's gifted memberships as well. Ian Fisher's got to be my like number one. He's my best customer. Right, here we go. I thought yes, I've nearly caught up. I've nearly caught up. Right, family, just saw a Fiat Tempra. Was so tempted to get it as it was free. Get it. There was someone who had a Peugeot 605, which apparently was, but it sounded quite hard work to get it. The guy who owned it or something, but yeah, that was a really nice one that was going to get scrapped or something. But apparently, if you got there and um, like didn't muck about and just said, "I'll take it," because that's the thing. Admittedly, I can kind of sympathise in a way because like some people try and give cars away even for free, and someone's like, "Oh, can I come and have a look at it?" And they come and inspect it, and it's like, "No, it's free. You either come and take it or you don't come. It's free." So yeah, Will Bah be a member only car? Yes. And that is not because I'm like trying to do a paywall thing. It's basically because I haven't got time to make any more videos than I've already made or currently make. And so that will just be like raw footage off the phone, like real quick, basic. Won't be edited. It will just be like I've done that today. I've done this today. But there will be one video. There will be one video on the channel, the main channel, with that car, and it'll be the only proper video I do. Like I say, proper, my version of a proper video where I put the mic on. So yeah, there will be a bit of behind the scenes, but I kind of keep that car separate from the channel because I've had that car since I was 20, and that was a long time ago. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't kind of. It feels a bit weird putting it in the channel. It's kind of like that one is like there's things you don't put on YouTube, aren't there? You people that watch the videos only see certain elements of people's lives. You wouldn't share everything, and yeah, kind of like that. BX is almost like a bit of me. It's almost like a bit too personal in a way. It's weird. It's weird because I've had it so long, so long. But yes, we should hopefully be getting it on the road end of the month. It's got MOT booked on the 31st, so I can go and thrash the arse off it again. How do I know they're not dissolving swim shot? Oh god, that would be awful. Retro Matt has block booked some rooms the night before Rustival, 15 minutes away. Some for my team. See, look at that. He's a boss as well, isn't he? He's looking after his staff. I've paid less for cars than an NEC sandwich. Yeah, I have. I probably have. What are those car seats out of? An MG Montego. You want to buy them? I need to get rid of them. Oh, people itching to go to Diddley Squat Farm. Yeah, I think. Oh, has Clarkson's Farm Series 3 already been on? I thought anything was on yet. Yeah, no, I've never been there. Very expensive farm shop and a huge queue. Doesn't really be cool to see something that you watch on telly, but not really that bothered. But it's a brilliant, good fun to watch, isn't it? It's a good program. Do I see Bar as more of a child than a car? I think no, I don't see it as a child. It is just a car, but like if it gets parked outside, I'm slightly anxious, which is stupid because it's a car. It should be able to deal with being parked outside, and it's not just like a Lotus Elise as a car, but if you leave a Lotus Elise outside, it will deteriorate. A BX is a mass-produced hatchback. It should be able to handle being left outside. So it would be stupid to be anxious about it being outside, and yet I get anxious when it's outside. And when the sun comes out, it fades so bloody quickly, and there's no paint left in places. It's just polished through now. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I wanted it. I've written an article about it if you're in the Citroen Car Club, the next mag, the BX column, is about Bah. Kind of like a rundown of the last 20 years, basically. Because 20 years with a Saxo, 20 years with Bah in June. So yeah, 13th of June is 20 years to the day since I got it. And the video I'm going to do is basically a rant. So yeah, that's basically it. But yeah, it's just no, I don't know. I mean, it is just a car at the end of the day. Like, it's just an object. It's not. It's nothing deep meaning, but it does have a lot of memories with the car. The car tells a hell of a story. Been to a lot of things. Um, been present, in one way or another for a long time. I've had it half my life. Just realised half my life I've owned that car. So yeah, it's yeah. I think it kind of feels like when like say the channel died off, right? Say that like the channel died, and I stopped doing this for a living here and everything, and it all went wrong. Which, to be fair, it's always 5 minutes from doing that these days. Um, like that car would stay, like all the others could go. That one wouldn't. That one would stay. So it was here before, and it'll be here after. So I was going to say the only way that I'll get rid of that car is when they prize it from my cold dead fingers, but it will really be something a lot less exciting than that. It will be like signing it over as part of an estate or something like that, or probate or whatever you call it. Like, but yeah, it's yeah, it's not that it means as much as a kid or something like that, but it's yeah, it's a bit different. It's kind of it's bigger than this, if you know what I mean. Like to me, it's like it would be like me filming my house or my kids or something like that. It's just yeah. Does that sound weird? Probably does. Um, but I'm having a nightmare with it. Hydraulics at the moment. Yeah, it might be two videos. I might do two videos. Um, with one of them ranting about why the hell this bloody pressure regulator won't stop going all the time. Um, hello, Walter. Did I chase the chavs who stole the Saxo's wheel archers in Bath? Right. Yes. Basically, yes. That's exactly what happened. Um, yeah. I was on the loo at the time, so that's why they got away because I wasn't about. I just heard screaming and commotion and ran outside once I got off out the loo as quick as I could get out the loo, and yeah, found out what had happened. So it was off back went with me at the wheel, one tyre fire down the road, off the limiter. Didn't know where these chavs went, but I did see a Saxo later on. I think I know who did it. Well, I don't know who did it now, but I remember back in the day, I found a silver Saxo up the road with missing front arches driven by chavs because they wouldn't have been able to use the ones that they got off um, ours because they broke them, taking them off. So you got a really good red BX16 valve with good paint that you could sell me. Yeah. Actually, do you know what I found? Right, I've got this. I'm going to put this in tomato because I think it's the right switch, the mirror switch. But look what's on the back of it. So the one I've given, well, assuming it's got one in it. If you've got one in there, it's not off that car. It's off this one, and I think they're wired differently inside because if I put this one in which was there briefly, the mirrors went nuts because that car only has one electric mirror and has two electric mirrors. It's a slightly later one, so I think they might be different inside. Haven't I had my kids on the channel though? No, no, they might have briefly appeared in one of the Tractiver videos, but they would if I started filming and go, "Hey, do you want to be on a video?" They'd be like, "Gone." Um, so I was just laughing at a bit of abuse Chris's way. BX is almost mystical. Not a BX GTI, Ian. It's a BX 16 valve. I think you'll find it's 8 more valves than a GTI. Yeah, it was on the channel member. Basically, channel member clips will be anything I put on, anything that's normally behind closed doors. So it's like if it's on Facebook or something like that, because I keep my Facebook quite small. I only like to have people on there that I know. I don't like, which is a pain in the ass when you're friends with Ian on Facebook because he's got like 5,000 friends, and they all like send you friend requests. And like, I don't know who you are. I've no idea who you are. You could be a bot for all I know. So it's just like, and probably not. Probably all nice people, but I don't know what I was going to do with those chavs because I didn't get that far. I'd have just, well, I'd have, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have confronted them, especially if it was just me. I probably would have found out where they lived, waited for them to fit some archers to their car, and then rip them off one night. I had a guy the other day. I was walking down the street. This has gone past 9:30 now, isn't it? We're just freestyling it. I was walking down the road here to go to the MOT station to get the S-Max, which had passed the MOT, so it was a good day. And some blokes went, "Whoa," and they threw a drink at me when I was walking down the street, right? And I was like, "You pricks," you know. And I watched, and I was like, "Where are they gone? Where are they gone?" And then they turned off into McDonald's further up the road, and I was like, "You idiots! Like, why would you do that? Especially if you're going to turn off." So I'd already clocked the type of car, and it was a 61 plate, so I knew a little bit and the colour and everything like that. And I was like, right, okay, what am I going to do? It's a car full of lads. I'm not having that. So when I went to pick the S-Max up, I forgot to ask him. I was going to ask him, I was like, have you got any sachets of CV grease? Because I was just going to like go through McDonald's on the way out and just like cut the end off the CV grease and just all over the door handles. Enjoy that one. I forgot the CV grease, but I went back out through McDonald's anyway, thinking like, oh, what can I do? And it wasn't there. So I was like, oh, I've missed it. It was too slow. So yeah, get revenge, but not like obviously. XPO mirrors did go nuts. I had to mod the switch. Single electric switch on XPO. Want to swap switches? Well, I need that for tomato, but I've got. How can we tell what is it to do with that green sticker? Because I've got like 4 of these now, 4 or 5 of these I found the other day in the back because my spares stash is massive. And some of them are going to be for cards with single. I've got the one of G-Seg, I think. And that was a single mirror switch. So yeah, we can sort something. I'll have one somewhere. Oh, good. I'm glad you've enjoyed this chat, Edward. Yeah, I've caught up with the chat. Yay! Oh, I'm gonna go in a minute. I finally caught up with the chat, and I'm gonna go. KP8 91% on horizon. Fantastic 100% cloud cover. I'll have a look out the window. I suspect. Oh God, where's the keys? Ah, hang on. I've given myself a dead leg. Oh. Totally cloudy. Can't see a thing. Surely those kids knew about YouTube. I don't know which kids. What, the chavs who nicked the archers, or the Aurora? The Aurora watch graph is spiking big time. Hang on, let me have a look and see. It's supposed to be clear at the moment. And tomorrow. Wow, look at tomorrow. Look at that. Sun, clear all the way down. 7 in the morning, 18 degrees. Then 21, 21, 20, 17. What about Sunday? That's a bit more me. 15, 18, 19, 19, 16. Monday, rain all day. Tuesday, rain. Great. It's not fully dark here. The app I've got is called Aurora Watch UK. Oh, hang on. What was it? Maybe it was the other one. There's two. Oh, yeah. It's just called Aurora. And it says KP index is 8, 19% chance in your location, but due to high activity, keep an eye on the sky. And it's got an Aurora map. It's also got adverts. Yeah, so I'm in the green bit. So if you're north of Dublin, there, which is, I'm trying to do this backwards here. Yeah, start looking up. But I'm in the green bit there. So yeah, it's come quite far down. It's almost below Manchester. So if it's clear and dark enough, you have a chance. Best locations now. User reported sighting. A user reported a sighting 8 miles away. But it could be bollocks, couldn't it? They could be lying because people like to lie. That's in Hayling Island. And then another one in Romsey. And another one in Guildford or Godalming. There's quite a few up there. And one in Wimborne Minster. There's a lot around Guildford, Dorking, Camberley. This is fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating, like entertainment, watching a guy looking at his phone. But yeah, if you're in Maidenhead, Wokingham, Reading, Aylesbury, Leighton Buzzard, Milton Keynes, Bletchley, Newport Pagnell, Bedford, Camborne, Buntingford, they've all had sightings in the last. Status alert has gone up to red. Oh, my other app has just suddenly gone mad. It says red alert, aurora likely. It is likely that the aurora will be visible by eye and camera from anywhere in the UK. Yeah, we've had some serious activity. Sorry, I've not been looking at the thing here. Hayling Island light blue aurora. I don't think that's the aurora. I think that's just the sky. Stop saying negative things about aurora. People are going, oh, I'm not seeing it here. Oh, someone at the Wandering Organist has seen them. Right. So I'm going to have to go and stand somewhere very dark. It was cloudy out there. That's the only thing. Maybe I'm just under a cloud. People in the Netherlands are seeing it. Well, yeah, they are. But the Netherlands is much higher north than me, so And tonight on Aurora watch with kids. With like country file music or something like that, and then it just cuts to me going, "Where the bloody hell is it? Is that it? Oh, that's a plane." There's a lot of light. There's a lot of light pollution around here, to be fair. So I wouldn't have thought. Wouldn't have thought I'd see it, but you never know. Yeah, you look north. So it's northern lights are the basically particles of energy ish, sort of, from the sun that the sun has farted out, basically, and they go rushing through space. And when they hit Earth, they go through. They get pulled in by gravity, and of course, the magnetic field is stronger at the poles, and you see it kind of affected through by light and stuff. That's the technical term. You get southern lights as well, but of course, we wouldn't see that because over the equator. Nobody's seen anything, have they? Yeah, there's LED lights around here. The Dutch will see all sorts of what they're taking. I saw Aurora. I saw a gnome dance across the street. There's a dragon. Do you see the dragon? It helps if you can see the horizon. I can see the horizon, but unfortunately, I can only see it south. And someone's put the bloody Isle of Wight in the way. Northern Lights, not the ones in Blackpool where you can get anything for 20 quid. No, I don't see. Oh, ha ha ha. Can you see Uranus? Because that's how you pronounce it. You might be able to. I don't know. I'm taking it seriously. I'm not dropping to your level. Uranus, you can see it with a phone and a telescope. You might struggle a little bit with naked eye in most situations. What was that? What show was it where they said, "Oh, we've renamed Uranus because of all the silly names," and they're like, "Oh, what have you called it now? Urethra?" Was it Family Guy or Simpsons? It was something like that. Look at all those sky. I used to love those sky at night. The week, the stargazing live week they used to do. No, it's not fully dark here yet. Let's have a look. Is it? Refresh it. Ah, here we go. I mean, okay, so I've got a. Oh, that's the poles, right? Okay. So there is a. That's the Northern Lights, that red bit, and the colours and stuff around it, and you can see that's looking down on the globe as from the poles, and we are in that green band about. Well, if you're in the UK, if you're not in the UK, you're not, but yeah, and that edge of this green band here. So the logic is because they're kind of showing over this way, we might get the edge of it, but it ain't dark enough. It will be soon. Like, give it another 10 minutes. I reckon it probably will be. But yeah, Patrick Moore did live down there. Yeah. It'd be tight to see it from here. The only bit of the UK that's got red on it is the tip of Scotland. So, oh, these bloody adverts! I don't know how to turn them off. It came up with a thing at the beginning, in the bottom corner, and it said, "Oh, an advert is going to come on," and then it had an option, skip. cancel and stuff. So okay, stopped it. I don't think you'll see Aurora. Oh, well, it might be a different Aurora, I suppose, the Southern Lights. Yeah, Linwood. Yeah, see it from there. Isn't there an observatory on the hill above Southampton? No, there's not really a hill above Southampton. I think you might be thinking of Portsmouth. Getting Portsmouth and Southampton mixed up is. No, there's not an observatory. That's all Navy. Well, Navy, basically, yeah, Navy stuff. It's not technically. It's like BAE and that, but there is an observatory up the A3. Up near Horndean, Clanfield Way. There's an observatory there. Nobody's seen anything, have they? As soon as one person sees it, we'll be like, right, we're off. I mean, I am like as south as it gets. I'm as south as it gets. Well, I'm not. That's a lie. Because when the team, well, I support Southampton football, and when we always say we, because that's what you do in football. When we played Plymouth away, they were singing "You Dirty Northern Bastards" to the Saints fans, and I was like looking at the map, like, well, no, technically they're right. We are north from Plymouth. The hill above Portsmouth, you must be able to see all the tents from there. You can see the tents because the fires light them up. So no open Cornwall, no, probably not. No, you are south. That's as south as you get in the UK, isn't it? I don't play Football Manager. No, I used to. Yeah, I used to lose many hours of my life to Football Manager when I was younger, but no, I don't. No, I did that. I downloaded the demo and thought, because that's what I need, one more distraction, isn't it? But I didn't really get into it because it's just like you have to be fully invested in it. My kids love it. My youngest has got Welling United into League Two. He's very proud. Plymouth fans sing that to everyone. They might well do, but singing it to Southampton is quite funny, I thought. Do they sing it to Exeter? Because Exeter isn't further north, isn't it, than Plymouth? Venus is very bright every night. Venus is the second brightest thing in the night sky. True fact. After the moon. Venus is you see Venus like before it's even gone dark. You can see Venus normally. I should get my telescope back out. I have to dig it out the garage. Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah, you can see Jupiter naked eye quite easily. It's got a kind of peachy tint to it. Mars has got a kind of very, very, very light pinky red sort of tint to it. Isn't coaching kids football just like Football Manager in real life? I don't think it is. You never get asked. I mean, I don't know. I don't coach kids football, but you never get asked. I have taken a couple of games. It was kind of illegal, really, but you don't get asked questions by the press. Right. That's 10. I think I'm going to knock it on the head. I was actually kind of waiting for someone to see the lights, but I'm going home in Saxo, which means I'm going to drive like a chav, possibly crash. So end up on my roof somewhere. Yeah, there's reports of people seeing them all over this app that I've got. It's a lot of it's based on reports that people have submitted, and people have said they've seen it in. Oh, a KP index has gone up. It's 8.33 now with a 20% chance. Yeah, people are saying they've seen them in those places I mentioned. Hasn't changed, hasn't moved position. There you go. So I'm the blue dot. Oh God, there. So the red line starts at south of Manchester, probably. Well, it's in line with Sheffield. Smack in line with Dublin. And then, actually, no, Netherlands is in the orange bit. Denmark is in the red. Bit of Belgium. Belgium's in the green. Yeah, so it's in the green. Anywhere south of London is green, which is the lowest. You know, like you might get a green tint in the sky. It's the lowest, sort of the edge of it. Live Aurora webcams. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's people with a webcam in Sweden here, and there's none there. Finland, none. Sweden, none. In Skibotn in Norway, it's not even bloody dark. I mean, it's not. There's none in Iceland. If it's not got it in Iceland, it's not going to have it anywhere, is it? Shetland Islands, nothing except clouds. There we go. Nice little distraction. Yes. Right. So I'm going to round up. 6,000 RPMs everywhere. Revs to 7,400, 200. Practically impossible not to drive a Saxo like a chav. Yeah. Right. Yes. No one's seen any lights. Oh well. Please go back to talking about cars. We talked about cars for like 2 hours. Next stream, we'll watch paint dry together. We can do that. I can get some paint. Cool. Right. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up and go home. Enjoy any lights if you see them. Take a picture. Not for proof or anything, just memories. Right. Yes, or post in the chat, yeah. The Griff Chimera book, it's sold out by the publisher, and people have contacted them and they haven't got any left. So I don't know. Yeah, you just have to hunt it, basically. They pop up. I mean, sometimes they pop up on Amazon, but yeah, they sold much quicker than I think they thought they were going to. So, but yeah, you can, if you punch the publisher was Veloce, and if you punch the title of the book in to Google, and you just hunt around. Some of them went over to like the States and Australia and stuff. They get sold, they get sent over there in a batch, and anything that doesn't sell gets sent back. So you might find that some stuff comes back again, but I do have stickers. Yes, they're on my website, which is ihaveansm.com. Of course it is. Right. I shall yeah, I'm gonna go, and I shall see you in the next one, which is going to be the summer. But that's nearly now, so probably not be too long. Otherwise, I'll see everyone at Rustival. Okay, yes, I have an SM. Bye. I'm going to go look for some lights.